Okay, good morning, everybody. There we are. Just give me a second to get settled here. Awesome. So, how are you all today? This is Robin Link, and I am your AHA coach and life strategist, also creator of Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous and Unleash Your Powerful Freaking Goddess. So, I'm broadcasting to you today from the backyard of my new home. Let's see if you can see a little bit. We got Roxy hanging out, and there's a little bit over there. So let me just come back here. I don't have my office set up in the house, so I am working from outside and being happy that I have the opportunity to do so. So let's get into, welcome everybody who's just signing in. Let's get into the reading for the week, okay? So the energy for the upcoming week, the theme is the angel of giving and receiving. So this is a week where you really, really, really want to be mindful of where you're overgiving. Not a whole lot of people who are on here. Hey, Mind, Body, Soul, how are you? Not a whole lot of people who join into this broadcast fall into the other side of that category, which is being selfish. But if you happen to be somebody who likes to receive a lot and not share back, then you might want to rethink that this week because it'll come back to bite you in the ass, basically. But really what I want to speak to are my overgivers out here. Way, way, way too many people in their effort and in their desire to help people. They tend to forget that it is a process of giving and receiving, right? So if you're one of those people who's always out there helping, and at the end of the day you're exhausted, and then you wonder, like, where the help is when you need it, then that's a sign of an overgiver. Right? And that's a sign of somebody who needs to create a little more balance in their life in terms of giving and receiving so that you can start to fill your own well, fill your own soul. We give as a way of filling our soul, and yet we have to keep fueling it so that we have more to give. So keep an eye out for that this week, okay? Now, the energy that's going to be supporting you is the energy of peace, right? So you're going to be able to find a lot of peaceful moments this week. And that's really cool. As I'm sitting here listening to the dog behind me eating the grass, that's not such a peaceful sound. But you're definitely going to be able to find a lot of peaceful moments this week if you make the choice. And so that's one of the ways that you can give to yourself. When you have the opportunity to experience a peaceful moment, to experience 5 minutes where you get to slow down, or 10 minutes where you get to slow down, or even longer, I want you to take it and say yes to it. This is how you can start giving back to yourself, how you can start receiving, how you can continue to fill your soul, fill your vessel so that you have more to share with the world, or with the people who are close to you, or with whoever or whatever it is that brings you joy and lights up your heart, okay? So, now, the energy that is actually going to be challenging this week is charisma. Okay? Now, here's the deal about charisma. Charisma is that natural magnetism, right? So, a lot of people are just kind of naturally charming. this week, that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge. Okay, and again, it falls back into if you are not taking enough time to allow yourself to receive, and if you're not taking enough time to fill your own vessel, well, that certainly does not create an energy or a temperament that is naturally charismatic, okay? So we want to keep an eye open for that. Now, where are your aha moments going to show up? Everybody groans when this card comes up. Patience, okay? Those aha moments are going to show up during the times where you allow yourself to be patient. So you know that I moved over the past week or so. Let me tell you, between the cable/internet and my washer dryer, my patience was certainly tested. However, when I allowed myself to take a deep breath, when I allowed myself to be patient with the situation and simply remember that this is a combination of people, places, and things where there's a communication breakdown from the higher ups, where there's just so much that can go wrong, and the individuals involved who were actually willing to help me took their own patience. You know, they were patient and they got things done. So I don't want to suggest that you engage patience to the point where you let people walk all over you. You can be firm, but really we need to be realistic in this world. It's okay if we have to wait, an extra 5 minutes at the traffic light, assuming that you're still going to get to where you're going on time. And if you're not, whose fault is that? Did you leave early enough? Did you allow extra time in your morning to make up for all the the outward variables that you don't have control over? That's where we lose our patience. It often begins with we ourselves tried to stuff so much into a short period of time that we're running late now. Or we waited to the last minute ourselves, and so our being on time depends on all these other outward factors, right? That, again, essentially we don't have a whole lot of control over. So the other place that the patience comes in is, in those places where we're just unable to find our peace. When you can allow the wait on the DMV, the lines at the DMV. Hey, Dominique, how are you? If you can use that time, let me try this again, where you're waiting online at the DMV to get your license renewed, if you can use that time for breathing, for conscious awareness, for sending love to everybody in that place who is stressed out and needs some extra love. If you can find a way to use that time in a peaceful and productive way, then patience is no longer necessary, because you become the energy of patience. There's no rush anymore. You're in that space of allowance, and no, you're not waiting around doing nothing. I was someplace yesterday where I had to be there. I couldn't not be there, not without breaking a commitment, and I wasn't willing to do that. And I sat, and I sat, and I sat, and there was nothing to do for a good part of the day. And I really wanted to be home unpacking my office. And, I couldn't change it. And I could have. Let me rephrase that. I chose not to change it because changing it would have been outside of my integrity. And I found myself getting impatient, like, oh my God, when is it going to be time to leave? When can I go? Blah, blah, blah. And then I stopped and I breathed and I breathed and I started sending, love to the other people who were stressed. I just started going through some lists in my head of what I can do and how I can handle things when I got home. And so I turned this impatience into peace, productivity, and patience. I like that, the 3 P's: peace, productivity, and patience. Definitely something that you want to tap into for success. So anyway, really quick recap. The angel of giving and receiving, right? That's the energy that we've got coming up for the week. So be careful that you're not overgiving, and watch out for the takers in your life, okay? Just be really mindful of that. And the energy that's supporting you this week is the energy of peace, which is why I spoke about it so much. The challenge is going to be in that charisma, so remember the impatience and the overgiving and even the being a taker, well, that's not very charismatic. So get back in your body and get present so that you can continue to have that charisma and attract what you need. And then finally, your aha moments are going to come in those times of patience, in those spaces of patience. So thank you all for your patience today. I feel like this week's broadcast was a little bit off, and I'm just going to be okay with that. I'm in a new space. I didn't quite ground yet, so I don't know that I brought forth as many teachings as I like to, but that it is what it is, and I'm human, and if more insight comes up, well, heck, I can always broadcast again and add to it. So thank you so much for being here. Again, I'm Robin Link, your AHA coach, and your creator of Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous and Unleash Your Powerful Goddess. You can check us out on Facebook, at least the Spiritual Perfectionist Anonymous, and find me on the web under robinlink.com. And I will see you all next week. Bye-bye. Here, puppies, are you around? Do you want to say goodbye? Okay, we can't see the puppies.